Welcome back to another episode of The Universal Lens, where we give you a peek behind the veil of the thinking mind so you can discover who you truly are. From anxiety, depression, OCD, any mental health, or real-life struggle, we will show you how acceptance empowers you. Welcome back to another episode of The Universal Lens. I'm, as always, John Emilio, along with...
Still, as always, Henry Beltra.
Is that what they still call you?
Still, as always.
They still call you Henry Beltra? Everybody, thank you for coming back. All four of you from last week's episode. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everybody's had a lovely week, a mindful week, and been navigating life
as best
in
as
the
you
meantime. As best they can. As best that they can.
Best you can?
Yeah, man. So
let's kick off today's episode with a joke, huh?
Okay. Am I going to have to edit this one out?
No.
What's the joke? I don't have a joke.
Have you heard that circumcisions are on the rise?
No.
No? That's because there's no taxes on tips.
Oh, shit. I had it now. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Not yet. Well, there was taxes on tips. Now there's not.
Right.
And there's a political
something along
there's a political joke in there also.
I guess.
That was a good one. I'm a very funny guy, but I'm not a joke kind of person. Like I don't just sit there and like roll out a joke I know a lot of jokes. I just can't remember any of them.
Well, that's the thing is
I know a ton of jokes. I can't remember any of them.
So right there, the universe told you, the joke thing is just not for you.
It's not for you. You're a funny guy maybe, but like you're funny in the moment kind of guy. You're not funny and sit up and make me laugh.
Right. And then there are people that all they have to do is just walk in the room and you're like, okay.
There you go.
And anything he does, anything he says, all right. It's just the gift.
It's a gift.
I don't have that gift.
You get the two people walk in a room, whatever.
Right. I don't have that gift.
Knock, knock jokes. I don't know.
No.
Mine was like, knock, knock. Who's there? Orange. Orange, you glad I didn't say banana.
Right.
And we lost our 4 listeners right there.
Sorry. Come back.
Anyway, that aside, welcome back, everybody. And like I said before, hopefully everybody's been navigating things well. As Henry knows, some of you know, I have the other podcast I've been doing with my other friend, Camarado, My God, Your God, which had a nice, warm reception for our first episode. And in that whole, I've become more spiritual as I've gone on. My connection with God, which is, we don't really talk about much on this show anymore because we really want to keep it, what the tools that help people, get unstuck. But that path kind of, is taking me on a very spiritual, my connection with God's gotten stronger. And this is where there's a parallel that we've always talked about between the both.
Yep.
I kind of, as the week went on, I just kind of had this in the weirdest places. When I shower, I get insights and epiphanies that come to me. I don't know why.
That's cool.
I don't know if it's the sound of the water, but when I'm in a shower, for some reason, I have to get one of those. It's like a tar
wax.
It's like a wax
yeah.
Where you can write on a mirror, because usually I have to yell out to my phone, Siri, create a note. And like, she's got to create a note for me just so I don't, because by the time I come out of the shower, like it's gone because I thought about 400 other things after it came. Anyway, sorry for the diversion. And the mental image of me in a shower, but
now you really lost it.
But so as these things come to me, and I've been, like I said, going down this just more of a spiritual path with God and all that beautiful, lovely stuff. I had this, as I was kind of thinking things through, how, we've always spoken about where the thought comes from, right? And from the thought, there could be an action after the thought, right?
Yep.
But what's in the middle of the thought, right? So to keep it on what we speak about on this show, so we have a thought, and then before that thought does become a action, what happens? Like, what's missing in the middle?
All right. So
there's that, which is the key of our show. You have thought, then this, if it's there. If it's not there, you have thought, action.
So most of the people we're talking to are people like us with intrusive thoughts.
Correct.
So I'm assuming you're talking about an intrusive type of thought.
It could be any thought, but it could be any thought. It could be any thought. But
like, you don't necessarily enjoy this thought popping in, right? Is that kind of like, okay.
Well, yeah, so it doesn't have to be intrusive. It could even be a thought of jealousy, a thought
so something.
A thought of envy, a thought of lust, a thought of where. So if there's nothing in the middle, you act on the thought, right? If you don't have that awareness in the middle, right? So there's a pattern of thought, awareness, action, no action, or however you want to deal with it.
A processing.
The same thing goes, and we've talked about this heart and mind connection, right? We have a heart and mind connection. Even in mindfulness, there is a connection between how the heart and the mind are linked, but yet they're not on the same wavelength at all times. The heart could want one thing, but the mind could say another, correct?
Yep.
So the same thing with you have a thought, and if this thing's not in the middle, the thought could go directly to your heart and could poison your heart. So the thought of jealousy could become, so I have a jealous thought or a lustful thought. If I don't have that awareness, it can infiltrate into my heart, and my heart could become envious. My heart could become, so before that actually happens, your heart must be filled with that also. So it's not just thought, jealousy, action. It's going to be thought filters into my heart because I'm not even paying attention. My heart now gets filled with this jealousy and now starts feeding even more thoughts about this. And now I go and I become a jealous person, and I start doing what? Acting jealous, or acting lustfully, or acting angry, or whatever it might be, right? Either, or it could be something beneficial too, right?
Yeah.
But those aren't really a problem. Like if you have a thought that fills your heart with joy and you do joyful, beautiful things, no issue there.
We don't identify.
We don't identify as a problem because it's not, right? But people who have those thoughts there is a filter there. They just might not know it that much, but it's still there. So without that awareness, watch how an everyday random thought of, like when we're using jealousy and lust, because they tend to be
they're common
and polarizing ones that create and cause a lot of suffering in life for people, both the person and unfortunately for the people around them, that if that awareness isn't there, watch how your heart becomes filled with this jealousy. And now it multiplies and, quantifies more and more and more. And now you unconsciously start acting on these things, which is why I think it's even more important to have that and realize you have that awareness in between before here comes a thought, before it filters down into your heart and becomes an action, that you actually have the ability to see that thought, sit with that thought and say, I understand where it's coming from, but no, I'm not going to allow it to sit in because once we absorb it into our heart, it really does plug it into the outlet and it amplifies completely. And you could stop it. We hate to use that word stop because we're not about stopping thoughts, but you could redirect the thought and kind of almost put a barrier around your heart and be like, nope, nope, nope. And understand that if you have that awareness, you will see that your heart wants something different. That jealous thought your heart will be saying something different while that jealous thought comes in. If you have the awareness, you'll hear your heart saying, no, but I don't want to be that jealous husband. I don't want to be that lustful person who cheats on his wife. Even though my mind's telling me, but bro, she's hot. But, nobody would ever know. This would be great.
And how comes justifying it?
How comes justifying it? Because that now, once you infiltrate in your heart, and now your heart and mind get linked with this negative, just evil.
Yeah, and then you'll say, you know what? My wife kind of given up on me anyways. And then you'll make the story that'll make it
comes
justified.
To fruition.
And then,
yeah. So without that awareness, without that ability to understand and be able to protect our heart. And I know, like in the mindful world, like if you talk to mindfulness teachers, they really don't talk about this often, but a guy like Dr. Joe Dispenza does. He says there is a direct connection between our heart and our mind. And that's why I tell people, do you listen to your heart? Do you hear what your heart is saying when there's a difference? When one thing is saying another, like when your heart is saying one thing, but your mind is saying another, are you there to notice that that's happening? Like, do you have that awareness that it's actually there? Like that difference is there. Your heart is saying like, no, this isn't right. We shouldn't be doing this.
Can I press pause on that? Because I think
on the show,
no, on that thought, no, because don't you think that could be part of the torment? In other words, I'm not aligned. So that's part of the torment. Like my heart is telling me I don't want this, but my thought is telling me you want this. And then there's this torment.
The suffering. Correct.
The suffering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're not aligned, right?
Because they're not aligned. Yes. And they're not always going to be aligned because.
So you're in a state of confusion. If you don't have awareness at that moment, you are in a state of confusion.
You can be, absolutely.
But you sprinkle some awareness in the situation and you understand, I don't have to pay attention to that thought or that random, intrusive thought. Because, as hot as that girl at the gym is, or whatever, neighbor, or whatever it is, as hot as she is, all right, stops right there, because you're aligned. If you're not aligned, it's almost like, oh my God, I get it. All right, you're not supposed to, but oh my God. And you stay fixated. And now, you know what? You only live once. And then you start with the, I don't know, whatever, justifying it. And well, with reason A leads to reason B and reason C. So A plus B plus C. This must be good. And you kind of auto convince yourself and you help yourself that what you're about to do is correct 100%. Because now I'm in line. Now everything jives up until you make a disaster. And you're like, oh my God, no. Because what I really value is, the specialty that I have at home.
Exactly. But the thought can poison the heart.
Oh, yeah.
If you allow it to, the thought can poison the heart and could actually change the way the heart feels, or the heart believes it feels about something. And now you're in, like you said, now all of a sudden you think you're in line with, let's do it. Like, fuck it. Why not? It's gone. All of a sudden that soft voice that was telling you that it didn't want to do it gets overpowered, which is why they'll even say sometimes you can't always trust your heart, which is why awareness is so important. Like that's why awareness, your soul, your spirit, whatever word you want to use for it, but your awareness, that thing, that ability to see between these two entities in our body, the thinking mind, which is influenced by a million things, right? A million things. Yeah. The way you were brought up, teaching, environment. You want to go on energy. You want to go on a more spiritual planes, on divinity and, evil. And I mean, there's so many things that can filter into our mind. If we don't have that awareness to see what's coming in and to know, we'll say this in mental health, right? We'll say to know what your value system is. But even your value system changes, and it can change instantly if you're not careful and paying attention. And you think again now there'll be things that are so strong that it'll still shake you. And that's where I think people really, really suffer. They're like, why am I having, like with OCD, why am I having this thought? Why am I having this thought? Why am I having this thought? And that's where they get stuck. Who cares why I'm having this thought? Right. It's not about the thought. I know I don't like it, so let me not give it attention.
I know.
But when it's a thought, again,
you thought a putty cat.
I thought a putty cat. When it's a thought that tickles the fancy, or justifies a behavior, or inflates the ego, or screw him, or now it's different. Right now it's not scaring you. It'll still give you struggle, but it's easier for the heart to be overcome by that. It's easier for that thought to go right through and infect the heart. And now all of a sudden your heart gets filled with lust. Your heart gets filled with anger also. And now here comes the action after.
I know.
So there is a process. People think, oh, he acted no, there is a process. It's just the person wasn't there, wasn't paying attention, and that process just kind of happened automatically on its own. And that person gets filled with this, malice or this, whatever it might be. And they're going to now go out and commit this action or fight with this person or cheat on a spouse or whatever it might be.
Or even, in a work setting where, there's a high position that has opened up that you think, oh, I'd be pretty good for that position. And you find out Joey got it. What does Joey have that I don't have? I don't understand. Now everything's negative, right? He got it. Jealousy. Now comes the comparison. Dude, I'm here earlier than he is. I leave later than he is. Not to mention, I've been here 2 years before he was here. What the hell does he have? Whose ass is he kissing? It's the worst of humanity is brought out in these situations because, well, unfortunately, awareness is gone. Because for many reasons, number one, is that what you want? Is that what you want to be jealous, upset? I doubt it.
No, don't get me wrong. It's a shitty feeling.
Don't get me wrong.
In general.
Knee-jerk reaction. Oh, he got it? Damn. All right. Hey, bro. Congrats, bro. It's a great job. You did great. Congrats. And you have to understand awareness. And when you understand awareness, you grow as a person. You understand a lot about life, a lot about what we're doing here, And when I mean what, not here, meaning
what you're doing out in the world. Yeah, in the world, absolutely.
And you realize that the world will return better things to you if you handle that situation with grace, and then true grace. where in the beginning you might say, all right, congrats. But then there might be a little bit of, background jealousy, which is you notice it, but you don't magnify it. You don't do anything with it. That fades away. And then because you're a truly aware person, eventually that awareness does come forward and you're 100% happy for that person. And there will be other opportunities. Maybe not even in the company, maybe in another one, but there will be other opportunities if that's your mindset. And you go from that moment forward in a healthy way. While there may be an unconscious person, unaware person who's stewing and loving the fact that we get to talk about Joey behind his back now. And that's
an unfortunate part of human nature.
Yes. And usually misery loves company. So what ends up happening is we get together here. And in mindfulness, that is like one of the biggest things. Don't gossip. Don't, you're just engaging in something
drama.
It's not good for you.
No.
So why would I want to engage? If you're aware of it, you're going to have a much better time of it. And also, I'm telling you, it changes your coding, changes your iOS. Yeah. That if you can be happy for that person, truly, and I get the initial,
but even truly happy, even truly happy for a person, something like in that scenario, your mind could still be telling you it should have been me. It should have been me. The key is not about trying to feel happy, because when you don't get something you want, natural human emotion, happiness isn't going to be the first one, but you could still choose to have joy for that person for what they accomplished, besides how my mind is telling me I feel, because my mind can still be telling me at the end of the day, I still wish I got it. Okay, John, that's great that you're happy for him, but I still wish I got it. I still wish I got it. Like that the thought pattern might not change right away, but how the action you take is where the gains are made, is the fruits of it. Now, do you have that thought, zero awareness, and keep acting unconsciously with anger and jealousy and resentment and blah, 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 which is toxic, which then your heart becomes toxic and blah, blah, blah. Or do you have that awareness to say, even though my mind is telling me I should have got it and I wish I got it and I'm upset that I didn't get it, justified, right? You something you were looking forward to getting, or your mind was set on, or you worked towards, and you didn't get it. It's okay to feel that, absolutely, but you don't have to accept that that's the way it has to be. I could accept that it's there and say, thank you, mind. I appreciate what you want to say, but my heart is saying something different. My heart is saying, I didn't get it. He did. I'm going to show that person and be the better. I'm going to show that person that I can be a mature, loving individual. I'm going to be like, congratulations. Even if that congratulation hurts, because I knew I wanted it. So like, I don't want people to think that I didn't get this and I'm filled with anger in my mind, and now I'm going to try to protect my heart, but I don't feel happy in my heart. I don't feel happy. I can't. It's hard to feel like somebody passes away that you love, and people are like, oh, it'll be okay. Time heals all. And it does. But in that moment, you're not meant to feel happy. You're not meant to feel something good in you, but you could still choose presence, awareness, and anchor in peace. So like that doesn't go away.
So here is the reframing I use. And not the death situation, because that is a little different, but like in the one about if your coworker
with the jealousy
has ascended.
Yeah. I
use it as a healthy jealousy, which turns into a inspiration. So
okay, you can reframe that.
I'm healthily jealous of you, because for sure I want to be in your position, and now I use that as inspiration.
That's a very tight rope, but you walk.
But you understand,
a lot of people can't do that. Yeah.
But you inspire me, not you make me pissed.
Okay,
you inspire.
That's great. Yeah,
and so
that's great.
Example, just a few minutes ago, I walk in and you go, damn, you lost the last 5 pounds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You hit 200. Like, you noticed it, and you said, I'm a healthy jealousy.
Yeah. I said, I'm envious in a good way of that.
That's exactly
fucker.
But that's exactly the way that,
because my mind was saying in that moment, I mean, I'm sure.
Because you're happy on one side, like, good for you. And the other's like,
my mind's like, what the fuck?
I could do that.
I could, exactly. But, and I see it, I notice. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Thank you, mind, for telling me that. That's awesome. But, yeah.
But if you reframe it, you are helping yourself
Absolutely.
get better.
Absolutely.
And that's another way to go about it, meaning reframe the situation. It doesn't necessarily, whose ass is he kissing? You can go that route.
If that's something that's that important to you, if it's something you value enough, if it's something that your heart desires and wants to lose the weight, let's just say somebody has to go on a weight, if they want to lose that 15 extra pounds, if that's something that's that important to you, yes, you could use it as an inspiration instead of as a jealous.
Correct.
I hate him for it. Oh my God, this person, or for a job, for whatever it might be, you have a choice there. But even in the reframe, like, don't expect yourself to feel happy. Now, obviously, with his weight, just so I clarify this, I want people to think I am happy. I'm really happy for him, like genuinely happy for him. Yes, absolutely. That he set a goal and he's accomplished it. That's great, right? Plus, even in work, he's been selling more, and I'm happy. Like, I'm genuinely happy for him that he's doing that stuff. And somebody I don't know as well, who I don't have that relationship with, right? Because when you have a relationship that's really close to somebody, if you really are a friend and you truly, like, you're a cheerleader for them, right? Understood. Even if they do something extraordinary and you feel like you lack all of a sudden, you put that lack aside and you go, I'm still a cheerleader for you because I want you to succeed.
When you have awareness, yes.
Yes, when you have awareness, yes. But for a person you don't know, right? A work colleague. So there's really no major connection. It's just people we know, people we talk to, whatever. I want to make sure people understand you don't have to feel like, even in the reframe, you could be like, I'm going to reframe it and I'm going to use you as a inspiration, right? Like, okay, Rocky IV, when he puts up the picture of Drago his inspiration was he saw him every day. Now, I get it. This is a movie. It's about fighting, but just follow me along the parallel I'm trying to make. His inspiration was, right? He didn't hate Drago as a person, because even at the end of the movie, there's a mutual respect for each other. And then Drago killed his friend, right? In the movie, he kills Apollo, right? So, like, there was never a hate for the person. He used that as an inspiration to beat him, right? He used him as an inspiration to become better, to try to beat him. So, like, if there's somebody in your, like, a job or something where they get it over you, we don't expect you to feel, even while you're reframing, go, I'm going to change what I did, and my goal is going to be this by next year. Like, nobody expects you to love that person. Be like, oh, I'm so happy for you, Joe, that you got it over me. This is great. Like, my heart is overwhelming with joy. Okay, like, if that doesn't come up naturally, don't beat yourself up. You're not an evil, bad, horrible person, right? You're not. You're a human being. But with the awareness, you get the ability to choose to be joyful for that person, to love that person, to say, I'm very happy for you. Even if my feelings don't align, like my core egoic feelings, because that's where it comes from, don't align with it, it's fine. Because you're choosing to say, thank you, egoic mind. Thank you, mind, that you're telling me I can't be like this, or I can't be happy right now. I shouldn't be happy. Thank you. But I'm going to show this person love anyway. And that's where a rewire does start to happen. It never happened fully, but it happens.
I think that's very important. I think that's the biggest, one of the biggest things that really you pointed out was, you're gonna have that feeling of jealousy, and it doesn't make you a bad person.
No, it doesn't.
That's the key.
Yeah, but we talked about it.
Talked about guilt.
I said, well, religious. I got about it. Italian guilt. It makes you feel like you've been told you're a bad person if you have this feeling. No, you're a human freaking being if you have this feeling.
That's right.
How you react or respond, do you have that awareness? Do you let your heart get filled with that? Or do you protect your heart from it and say thank you and shush the thought and allow the thought to float by, not push it away, allow it to fly by, and you say, but my heart is saying something different. Even though the mind is at a 10, the heart whispers at a 2. But if I hear it and I choose that, it is almost a reward I can't tell you that you get when you actually choose to do that thing like that. You put yourself on a different path in life.
It's a level of maturity that you achieve that only you can enjoy. And really,
yeah, because it's a personal thing that you're doing.
I'm telling you, you enjoy it because, again, living unconscious for many, 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 many years, and now living consciously for not that many years. Every time I'm able to contrast my prior decision versus my current decision, I keep impressing myself.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
And the more you impress yourself the more anchored in your awareness. It's God. It's impossible to explain. But it's a very esoteric.
Somehow we've done 103 episodes on this, which is crazy.
It's a very esoteric thing. Again, and I hope he's watching. Somebody stopped me at the gym about intrusive thoughts, and I told him, definitely follow in the show. And I think that this gentleman, you know what, I even love to invite him on one day, but like I think this gentleman, by having intrusive thoughts, was feeling the guilt of just the thought. And immediately that spurred a whole bunch of other negative things so first and foremost is you had a thought. It's okay. You're human. So Joey got the promotion. That's your initial.
Yeah.
Okay. You're human.
That's your default hardwiring.
Right. Because if you're listening and you're saying, what the fuck, man, I'm not supposed to oh yeah, good for you.
Because you know what? Somebody say, but not everybody. Well, I know people who aren't like that. Because the way they were brought up might have been different. Their surroundings might have been different. The environment they were in as a child might have been different, where they were able to nourish that more.
That's right.
When they were younger. So it becomes something that's in the forefront for them and becomes an automatic response.
And we don't have
automatic reaction.
I don't have data on it, but what would you say the percentage of the population with that?
It's so there's a percent of the population that actually is like that, which is very small.
Right.
But then there's a percent of the population which says they're like that.
No, forget it.
No. Who says they're like that and genuinely want, but I really aren't honest and forthcoming about it. Right. They're a slot in the middle where they'll say, no, yes, I'm happy. I'm more than happy for you. More than happy for you. But it's said like, fingers crossed, tongue in cheek. They're not. And they're saying it just to save face and just to look good. I was one of those people years ago. Now I could see the jealous, envious, lustful, angry thought and go, I don't allow you to get here. You can point them out. I don't allow you to I don't want you here. Thank you very much. I'm not shushing you away. You want to hang on your hand, but I'm not letting you seep into my heart. My heart, I'm turning the volume up on it. Because I know it's pure and I know it loves, I'm going to turn that up to an 8 or a 9. I want to hear that more than I want to hear this.
Good. Yes.
That's all. Because if I don't, this eventually does work its way down and now muffles it out completely. Because instead of you being able to hear what your heart is really saying, you're going to hear more of your mind and eventually just drowns it out. And now you believe that your heart is saying the same thing and now you've just acted on it.
This is why I need you next to me. When I run into people, I
need me next to me sometimes too. Everybody understands.
I try to.
John, what would you do?
Yeah, I try to explain that, and I can't. I just don't have the capacity to explain that. But when you explain that, that's exactly right. Because there is no doubt about it, bro. Let's bro talk here. I don't care if our wives listen to this. Let's bro talk for a moment.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll be at the gym, and you'll get what in Spanish we say, a monument passes by. And you're like, heavens to Betsy. Like, what is that?
The hand of God.
The hand of God. Like, God made that for sure.
Yeah.
For me.
I've had those conversations with certain people at the gym.
God made that for me.
Yes.
Like, no doubt about it. Right. That's the initial.
God made that for me.
Right.
Would she agree?
Exactly. That's the initial shock. That's the
initial thought. Yeah.
That's the Joey just got promoted. That's that.
God made that for me.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But at some point, you have a heart, and the volume has to be turned up on the heart.
Absolutely.
To show that stupid thought that's trying to come from somewhere else. No, relax. Everybody relax. So I think what John was saying is it's okay to have that lustful feeling thought in the first knee-jerk reaction. Absolutely.
It's okay for it to be there.
It's okay for it to be there.
Because it's not yours.
You're not doing anything crazy.
No, it's not. It's not yours.
You're not doing anything nuts. And quite frankly, by any objective measure, look at her.
Exactly. So we're talking about that same thing. Yeah. Sure. I mean, it's a human reaction, right?
But
I had a lustful thought. Oh my God, here comes the Italian religious guilt. No, I'm going to hell.
Let me kill myself.
I had a thought.
Let me kill myself. Let me
circle that back to obsessive compulsive disorder. Oh my God, I had a harm thought. I had a pedophile thought. I had a scrupulous thought about God.
Go bang my head against the wall.
Why'd I have that thought? And that's where the people suffer. The suffering is why'd I have the thought? Gives a shit why you had the thought. Instead, forget about why you had the thought, because why is a horrible question to ask anyway. Forget about why you had the thought. It's I'm not going to allow the thought to infiltrate here. And not because and it's not a protection or get away. No. It's going to be, I want to listen to what this is saying even more right now. That you could stay around all you want. I'm not giving you the credence. Turn this up. Listen to what your heart's saying. And now those thoughts, like that hot chick that passes you in the gym, right? With I don't want to get too graphic, but all right, you see her, you're a male, you're human. Okay. So like, if I look and I see a beautiful woman walking in the gym, I'm not going to sit there and say, I didn't even notice her.
Right.
I'd be lying, right? I'd be lying. It's like if my wife went to the gym and she saw a guy who was shredded and ripped and like young and like an Adonis, Brad Pitt, like I would look at the guy too and be like, that fucking guy's good. He's a good looking dude, right?
That's my line.
Exactly.
Like, I don't blame you.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But
what's beautiful is beautiful.
Okay, I could see it.
Yeah.
But now does it become this? Wow.
Right.
Oh, and now I'm looking and lustfully looking. And now I'm tracking this person around the gym constantly. And wow, and I should, and I did, and and then maybe you move over to an exercise machine next to her just so you could be near this person all of a sudden. And now maybe I'll strike up a conversation innocently. I'm going to just talk to her. I'm just going to talk to her. I'm in a gym. I want to be friendly. I'm going to talk to her. I want to say hi. How you doing? How's everything?
Right.
At this point, the infiltration has started. You just don't know it because you're not paying attention.
No, you know it. You're not
paying attention enough, and you're allowing it to happen.
That's it.
You're like under, right? It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I mean, the parallels are crazy, but it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes, sir.
It's the back door. The way it just comes. No. It's okay. I'm here, but I'm not dangerous. Look, we're just gonna talk to her. No, it's the same fucking thing. It hasn't changed. All you're allowing it to still infiltrate your heart. And now before you know it, maybe you don't do something, but look how far you've already gone.
Yep.
Instead of going, that is a beautiful woman. I cannot sit here and tell you no. She is. But yet I'm going to continue working out because I'm a married man. I love my wife. I love my children. Yeah. I'm sure she's a lovely person. No.
Right at the end of the day.
And now I'm not saying like if you did talk to somebody, it's not like so I shouldn't talk to good-looking people at the gym.
Right.
No, I'm not telling you to sit there and walk around. Yeah, like don't take it to the 10th degree. We're trying to make we're showing an example of how a simple could infiltrate and now start to change the way you're acting about something.
And so when you make enough of those decisions from a place of awareness, and you realize I'm actually practicing this, you start to feel so good about yourself, and the fact that thought didn't take you on the tailspin it usually does, whether it be your friend at work got promoted or whether it be the lustful thought.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Once you've kind of passed a few tests from your thoughts, wow, it's a powerful thing. Like once you've passed a few of those tests, right? Because, again, my flavor was anxiety, depression.
Yeah.
Cousins. Your flavor was
anxiety, depression, OCD. Same thing. Yeah, anxiety, OCD
But that OCD is powerful.
Under the same umbrella.
Because it's so powerful. It's like, it's the main driver there of your thought process. Yeah. So I put myself in your shoes and I think once I've done it a few times, I am so impressed by what I just did that it's like a self-celebration for the moment of, wow, that's when you realize I have been able to change. And that change is the transcendence of the OCD no longer having power over you. It's part of you, but it doesn't have power over you.
As the lust loses power over you, the anger loses power over you, the jealousy loses power. They all lose their power over you because you don't entertain them. You don't energize them. You don't allow them. And like I said, we're using the heart example today, but you could probably even talk about it with your values. You could say it so many different ways. And for me, I like language that resonates with me when I speak, and that the word used, and there is, like we said before, with Dr. Joe Dispenza, who does talk about it a lot. Not many people do. In the religious world, and not even religious, in the spiritual world, there is a lot to be said about the heart and mind. A lot. In the mental health world, Dr. Joe's probably one of the only people who really or popular people. I'm sure there's tons of people, but who's a popular, well-known speaker and motivator, and
actually, Dr. Joe
speaks about it a lot and says that there is that connection between the two.
Dr. Joe goes out on a limb, and let me tell you what I mean. He goes on a limb so far that I believe he's involved with actual scientific testing of when the heart and the mind are in sync of how some people are beating diseases. Now, I can't claim that, but he is claiming that in scientific. He goes, I can't tell you that the people that I helped have beaten certain cancers. I'm not saying everybody.
So can I tell you where that connection is? It's now, again, I know we weren't talking about this on the show. That's connecting with a divine. That's really connecting with a divinity. So much so that you're able to manifest these kind of things, miracles, manifest these kind of things in your life, right? Not everybody could do it. Not everybody can do it, right? And it doesn't happen for everybody. And I don't care, Dr. Joe could do all the testing he wants in the world. It'll never be a proven science where if you do this, this will happen for sure, 110%. It's going to be, well, maybe you're doing it wrong. If it doesn't work for you, it happens to certain people, it doesn't happen. But the connection, I agree, is 100% there. And I love that he does talk about it. And like you said, I think he's trying to scientifically prove this divine power we could tap into between the heart and mind. Because the heart, and this probably isn't a discovery, but I read about it, does have neural pathways. Like the heart has a brain. It actually thinks on a smaller level. So it does have neurons and neural pathways. The heart has it. Like medically speaking, I'm saying. Like I actually read an article about this too. Somebody told me about it. I was like, are you serious? Like, yes, I read medical journal articles. Yes, the heart has the neurons. Not that the heart thinks, but the heart has the ability to process. So there's a connection. Your mind says something, your heart could process what your mind is saying and give you a feeling about it, right? That's how I interpret that.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
And this may be controversial. So science is bullshit, and I'll explain.
I think I know where he's going.
Because yesterday, science said, hey, look at the food pyramid. You know, this is the way it should be. Fats, very little.
Jordan Peterson had a big thing about that.
And it turns out it was the opposite.
Yeah.
And today they tell you, no, it's the opposite. Well, yeah, we got it wrong.
Science always trying to figure. They're always trying to figure something out.
You're just as lost as we are. Except you came up with some formulas and some figures and some examples of how they think they're right. Yeah. But then years later, guess what? We had it wrong. So science is able to
manipulate data also.
Not manipulate, but good use of words, but self-correct. Self-correct. So I'm saying there is no difference between your scientific data or conclusion than what Dr. Joe Dispenza has experienced in the heart-mind connection, right?
Which is great work that he's doing. I mean, it's a beneficial thing.
And so the reason I say, how do I say?
Poke the bear?
Correct. I very provocatively said science is bullshit is simply because science constantly corrects itself. If science were science, you wouldn't have to correct yourself.
No, science is ready for another one. Science is just figuring out, and again, it says it's not like God show, but science is figuring out what God did already.
Good.
They're trying to figure it out.
Good.
And sometimes they don't. Like we don't discover it. We don't create anything. We're discovering things.
Good.
Oh, look at this connection. There is a connection between this and this. How it exactly works, no, but they'll never figure it out.
No,
because I don't think the creator of the universe wants us to figure it out. But there is a connection. One does affect the other, right? So, like, when you want this benevolent thinking or your values and things you care about that we point to our heart where they're stored, right. But it does have these neural pathways. It does have neurons. The mind, the heart does. I'm going to say quote unquote, right? I'm not saying it's thinking for itself, but has the ability maybe to process these signals it gets from the mind, right? And we say thoughts, it gets a thought and gives you a feeling of it. But if you're not paying attention enough, because this is much stronger. This is like having 4 C batteries, right? Let's just say, or 4 double D batteries in your mind. And you have just like one of those little watch batteries here. Like that's the electrical input maybe that this one sends out. But if you're not paying attention, you won't hear that little thought that wants to come out from your heart that says, I don't want to, no. Yes, she's beautiful, but I don't want to listen to this egoic thought pattern that's coming to me to tell me to do that next thing, or to be envious, or to be jealous, or to not only have the thought of envy or jealousy or anger or resentment, but now I'm going to act on it. I'm going to allow you to poison me and make my heart think that, yes, we are envious, we are jealous, we are pissed off and angry, and that's it. And that only happens if you don't have that awareness in the middle, your spirit, your soul, your awareness, your presence, your consciousness. Get the source out and pick a word that makes you feel better, whatever. That says, no, that's not what I truly want, right? But your mind's going to be so strong, but look at her, come on. And your mind can affect all other parts of your body, if you know what I'm getting at, right? It can send signals to other parts of your body that flood of hormones, flood of this, like the mind could do that, but you'll know, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to. Like, there's that, we've always said that quiet voice, right, that little whisper.
There are consequences to everything.
But yeah, there's not even the consequences that scare you, because that's your mind processing, shit, she might divorce me. Shit, she's going to get married. But there's something in you that says it's the wrong thing to do.
Right. I mean, you know.
Consequences, I thought you meant.
No. I mean, you know, everything has consequences. So it's funny. I'm watching you talk about the whole thing, and you're talking about this, you talk about this. And what's funny is
my hands move.
No. What's funny is, like, we talk about heaven, we talk about hell, we go this. We talk about our heart, we do this. We talk about our mind, we do this. But the truth is, it could happen in our mind, but where is our mind?
That's a deep one. I would love to have. We could have that one. Come on, my God, your God, and we could have that conversation. I think we'll lose a lot of people here with that one.
Where's your heart? Where's your mind? Yes, you have an organ called the heart, yes, and you have an organ called the brain. But all those memories, all those things, they're in the cloud. Exactly.
We're in heaven, in the clouds.
Right. So, you know, you wonder that science doesn't have it all. Sorry to say, science doesn't have it all.
No, of course it doesn't.
It's a great thing to have, because I'd like to
medical advances. I love scientific
science. I love
it's amazing. Yeah,
because it's for the same reason that I love to discuss religion. I love it. I love to discuss it. I love to discuss the differences, the nuances, the everything. So for the same, but the truth is, I can't say that because science said so, it is so. I can't always.
Science says the Big Bang Theory. That's right. Scientific.
And we don't know.
No, it's based on theories.
We don't know.
But as a spiritual person, no, God created Adam and Eve. God created the heavens and the earth. How? I don't know. Right? You believe a bunch of data that a scientist told you?
I don't know.
if you're a person you believe a bunch of data that a scientist gave you, you believe I know it to be true. I know it to be true. Have you read the data? Do you have the proof? Or are you just reading somebody put in a book? And you go, yes, I believe it.
Here's one.
Okay. The Bible was a book with stuff about it, creation, and people believe it. Who's right? Who's wrong? That's a rabbit hole about the size of the Milky Way galaxy that we would fall into if we keep going now. Because it is. It's a huge conversation. Yeah. We don't know. We don't know. Science is figuring things out, but they change and evolve as we do as time goes on.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So you take it.
Yeah, I may be considered
value for whatever it means to you, whatever it doesn't mean to you. You know, there is a heart-mind connection, and he's somebody that speaks about it. But that's on a scientific. He's using it on a very scientific plane. Even though he speaks about mindfulness and meditation, he uses it with this one intent, like how you could heal your body. And there is a lot of study done for that, right? That's amazing. But on a more practical, everyday level, look how it can affect your daily choices in your daily life. Look how it can affect the way you live your life every day, right? So you have a thought, it's a thought. If you don't have the awareness and you just allow it to steamroll over you, that thought could, like I said, we said before, infiltrate your heart.
Yep.
It fills your heart with whatever that thought and emotion is, angst is. And now here comes the action after it. That's why we implore you that mindfulness and awareness is not some Eastern spiritual foo-foo, Buddha loving, meditative, ancient Chinese secret. It's not. It's your soul. It's your spirit. It's your consciousness. It's the thing that allows you to see a thought, realize you're not that thought, and then process it and choose something that you care about instead, truly care about, that you value, that you love, right? Whatever code you live by. And that's what ends up guiding you. But if you don't have that, your mind is going to rewrite your moral code every day for you. It'll rewrite it. Your mind will erase it. No. Today, we're going to be cheaters. Today, I love my wife. Today, I hate my wife. Today, I love my wife. Why divorce rate's so high? People wake up and they go, I woke up and I wasn't in love with my wife today. How the fuck does that happen? No, you didn't wake up and you weren't not in love with your wife. You woke up and your mind said you're not in love with your wife because you aged 15 years. And all of a sudden you realize that you're older or you want something. Your mind tells you it wants something different. What is your heart saying? That's no interest to my core values and my love and
Core
my heart.
values.
It's no interest to me. But if I'm not careful, my core values could get cloudy. I don't know if they ever change. I said before that I don't know if they change. What happens is a blanket gets thrown over them, and now you forget that they're there.
Yeah.
Your heart gets clouded with darkness all of a sudden with these thoughts, and you don't realize that what you really want is now being silenced.
Yeah. The good friend in Pinocchio with the donkey ears.
Yes.
Grabs your moral code and throws it in the closet real quick, locks the door. And doesn't let it out.
Doesn't let it out, and that's kind of what happens until one day something happens that allows you to go, oh my God, the epiphany.
Jiminy Cricket comes back.
what did I do? And here it comes again, right? Now it's do you fall back into that trap again or not, right? So practice that awareness, right? There's 1,000 ways to do it. Watch your thoughts, mindful walks, meditation.
It starts there.
Yeah, if you're a spiritual person. Prayer, right? Which is a parallel to meditation. They kind of point the same direction, use different terms and words, and one has a deeper connection.
Everywhere, inside, out, heart, mind connection. It's incredible what you can do. And you can do it. You have a choice. You have options. You're not arrested to any one action, to any one. No, it's hard to explain, really. I think it's funny. I could thread it all together. I'd be here forever.
Because I know we would.
Every single hole you thread, like, oh boy, I got to explain. No. Once you start doing the work, everything opens up for you, and you
start seeing things.
Yeah, you see the field.
Yeah.
Once you start doing some work, and then you start living your life, and then you start seeing, how I would have reacted before, and now how I'm reacting now. Wow, it's pretty good. Okay. Do that often, and you'll change your life. You'll read a book like that, and there's no way you could read your book and say, this guy, he has to suffer low-key OCD.
Low-key.
Right? You know what I mean? Like in silence. Because there's no way you can kick OCD.
Well, I haven't sold 1 million copies of the book. Everybody who has bought the book has gained wisdom about how to look at life and how to kind of change your relationship with their thoughts and their mind in one way or another, right?
We talk about Dr. Joe, we talk about Bob Proctor, we talk about God, we talk about anything to see if you can resonate with something, and then you get helped along the way. And if you can then say, holy shit, I got it. And then you could help that next person, and slowly but surely.
Agreed.
Yeah. Sorry. And yes, also subscribing helps. I heard.
There
Liking
it is.
helps.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, you know what?
Subscribe, like, share.
Quite frankly, I'm gonna be truthfully, deadfully honest. I really don't care if you like it, subscribe it, or don't. It makes no difference. We will continue doing this because there are people that watch. It is incredible how many people watch this. So whether you engage or you don't, we'll continue to be here. We'll continue to be here. We're pushing for Team Universe. Team Universe.
We are. Yeah. So again, like Henry said, if you wish to, right, subscribe to the show, don't like, I don't care about the thumbs up emojis, but subscribe, share it with people who might need, who could use assistance. Definitely check out my other podcast at the same time. My God, Your God. And take care. Peace out. Remember, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Sending all love, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Universal Lens. Please always remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Always remember, it's not what you do, but how you do it. The opinions and statements made on this show are based on our experiences and not intended to be a form of therapy. If you or someone you love is in crisis, please seek the proper medical attention.